Back at it for the veterans in Phase 2. We got a chance to catch up with Quenton Nelson. Quenton doesn't say much, but what he says you got to listen to because he never lies. He's never deceitful. He's never dishonest. He's always going to come with the truth, and he did today.
Shane brings a whole new energy and to the building every single day, and it's been just different around the building.
Quenton, did you know Tony Sparano Jr. at all before you got hired?
I didn't.
What have been your early impressions of him? He's
great. You can tell he cares about all the guys in the room. He's a funny guy too, which is awesome to have in the O-line room. Build some camaraderie there. But just the way he's been coaching has been really good and really good for me, and I feel like I'm getting better in Phase 1 and voluntary mini camp, and now Phase 2. So it's been really good.
In what ways do you feel like his coaching has made you better?
Just the technique that he's teaching, the detail that he has in teaching it, and then when going over specific coaching points, like nothing's just like passed over or glossed over. Everything's very detail oriented and explains it very well to where you know exactly what he wants and exactly how to do it.
You all added a quarterback. I don't know if you've heard, but what are your, first impressions? Not meeting him, but just getting into him.
Yeah, really excited. Heard great things about him and his character and the person he is, and then seeing his film, you see what he can do on the field is pretty extraordinary. And he dominated the combine and did really, really well in college football this year. And he can run, he can pass, and yeah.
How does it move the quarterback, change things a bit up front? Not good or bad, just make things, more unique.
I guess you could have more quarterback runs in.
But you said it was different with Shane. It's going to be different with any new coach, but what have you learned about Shane in the last 2-3 weeks that you didn't know when he was hired or before?
I would just say just the way he comes into the building every day, and like when he talks in the team meeting room and in the offensive meeting room, it just gets you excited hearing like the confidence in it, in his voice, and him saying, this is what we're gonna do, this is how we're gonna do it. It's like, okay, yeah, I can see that, like with our roster and everything. So yeah.
Doesn't seem like a guy who messes around. Like there's no BS. He's just like, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, very direct, and also just holding guys accountable, which has been great. Just in the team meeting, calling out mistakes, not letting anything slide, and then also praising you when you do well. So just being real, and that's really appreciated by the players, and it's awesome.
We talked to Ryan Kelly last week, I guess it was. He said how important it was to get back to your standards as a group. How do you get back to where you guys were?
I would just say working every day and hanging out with each other outside of the building, building that chemistry, and getting to know each other really well, and just being close off the field, I think brings the whole closeness on the field. And we've been working on that this off season so far, and then we've been getting really good work in the weight room, lifts together, treatment together, and then of course practicing together. So that's what it's been about.
Reich was talking about this the other day. Wow. Okay. So Ryan Kelly was talking about this the other day about how everybody kind of needed a mental refresh because last year was really hard. What has that process been like for you? Just to get away from last year and then kind of have a new start, has that been big for you?
Yeah, it's what you do every single year, whether it's a good year or a bad year. It's on to the next year, and you just look at last year and you say, what was the bad and how do I fix this? And then you put together a plan during your off season of, okay, this is what I did last off season. Like that obviously didn't work. This is what I'm gonna do to renew it and try to get back to it. And that's what it's been. So, what do you got, Greg?
I apologize to you, Steve, and I apologize to you. I'm not having a great day. It's not your fault.
all good.
Quenton, you guys are all, by definition, physical, nicely freaks. You were here for a reason. You all dominated the combine. You all did. What is it like, though, as you said, he dominated it in a different way? Anthony Richardson, what is that? Like, it means something to us. What does it mean to you guys to know that he did what he did and put up those numbers?
I mean, the game film is definitely more important. Seeing like some of the spectacular plays he made and throws he made, but to just go to the combine like he did and be the best ever, I would say that's like pretty important. That like he took it that seriously and dominated it the way he did, and like that's who a guy you want to draft is someone that like wants to be the best and does the best.
Quenton, you've been on this
Okay,
ride.
so one more here.
You've been on this ride like everyone else in the locker room the last 5 years, all the quarterbacks. And you know, you guys were behind Carson and behind Phillip and behind Matt. But is there something to be said for having a rookie come in and have the hope that this could be a long-term thing? That's got to feel different than the stop and start of the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, just bouncing from year to year, quarterback to quarterback. It'll be nice to be able to build something for years to come.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Quenton.
So there you go. You heard a little bit of a dust-up between Greg Doyle and Stephen Holder, but it was no big deal, and they kind of hugged it out afterwards, and it's okay. Quenton Nelson, interesting to hear him talk about the details from Tony Sparano, and that Tony Sparano has a sense of humor, which means to me that Chris Strausser did not. And that's how we listen to these things, right? We ask about the new coaches, and what they tell us about the new coaches is exactly what the previous coach lacked. Detail, orientation from Frank Reich, lacking. Sense of humor from Chris Strausser, lacking. That's what we got out of Quenton Nelson today.